All right, video number 2, inspired by the Dallas Cowboys' dramatic loss to the Green Bay Packers in the first round of the playoffs in 2024. Well, what we saw again, I think. Now, I didn't watch the whole game because I don't need that kind of negativity in my life. But what seems like it happens in these big games when the pressure's on, we've got to win, or we're done for the season if we don't win, is that Dak, a lot of times, the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, if you're not following them closely, Dak seems to choke. Now, not completely choke. I mean, not like he's completely inept and can't do anything. But prone to making mistakes, prone to letting the moment get too big for him. And I noticed that some quarterbacks, it seems like they thrive under pressure. So, like, when it matters most and something has to be done, that's when they're most able to do it. And other quarterbacks, it seems like they tend to kind of fold under pressure. Now, any synopsis of this is probably like a little bit. The quarterback is far from the only member on the team, right? But so it is a team effort, and this dramatic loss to the Packers was a team loss for sure. Coaches, the whole gambit, right? But I do feel like if Dallas could, or if Dak could have played confidently in control, that there's a much better chance of a good outcome that the Cowboys could have had. So, I say all this sounding very critical of Dak, and it's if the Cowboys continue on insisting that Dak is their guy, very possibly I will be looking for a different, NFL team to enjoy as my the team that I root for. But maybe I should use the Dallas Cowboys simply as the team to wean me off football entirely. But that could be their valuable contribution to me. But I would see myself probably as someone who, I think I've had those moments where I choked in big moments, if you will, when I was under pressure. I've given, maybe some speeches or public speaking, maybe, where, the room is like, I'm just kind of off my game, right? Like I eke it out, right? But it's not great, right? I'm not highly functioning. I'm not highly confident, not in control. I'm not really articulating wonderfully or whatever. So I have sympathy, if you will. Like, I understand, like, I don't think I would be that guy either necessarily in that spot. Like, I think, some spots can be and probably would be too big for me. I don't claim to have boundless buckets of confidence. But anyway, it's unfortunate when the quarterback for your team also seems to have moments that get too big for him. So, what it takes, is that something you can develop, that you become the person who thrives under pressure, and that the bigger the moment, the sharper your focus and the clearer your, the better your performance, or not. I don't know how much of that can be taught and how much of that is innate. I don't know. I think, maybe quite a bit of that is innate. I don't know. But it could be that some of that really could be developed as well. I don't know. Anyway, I suppose to some degree my life has probably changed because, well, the thing where I think about is sort of the choking thing, if you will, is back in the day, when I was more, when my livelihood was more solely dependent on sales, and then I do feel like I got into some of those bigger situations and was not able to come up with the win. And so I do feel like in some ways, maybe I changed my life not to be dependent on like showing up in the big moments in quite that way. Or you could say that I changed my career to where if there was a big moment, it was a moment that I was better prepared for because it was a service that I believed in more or had more familiarity with, etc. So anyway, I think, if you find yourself coming up short in an area, if like your best in the most important moments is not good enough, either figuring out a way to get better for those moments. Some people have amazing tenacity, that can be good, or just pivoting and being like, you know what, no, this is not for me. I'm not winning in these high stakes games. I need to play a different game. And so with all due respect to Dak Prescott, I think I feel like a lot of people, which is they like the guy as a dude. His attitude seems good and mature. I think he's probably working hard, doing his best. So there's not a lot of like desire to be mean to the dude himself. But it's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think you're the right guy for the biggest moments. I think we need somebody who thrives in the big moments, the big games, if we're gonna make any progress in the playoffs. So anyway, if it was up to me, I might be looking to say, hey, what's a strategy for finding the guy that is the guy and someone who can handle the big moments. And maybe Dak doesn't get a big, massive contract extension. Maybe he either gets a mediocre contract extension while we try to develop somebody, or we send him off to some other team and go into a genuine rebuild. I don't know.